June each year marks the month when Ireland's PR industry come together to honour those who've delivered beyond the ordinary. This year's event took place in Dublin's Shelbourne Hotel, and as ever it promised to be a showcase of inspiration and creativity. With the familiar figure of Gavin Duffy presiding over events, the Public Relations Consultants Chairman Sharon Murphy framed the significance of the event, where friendly competition abounds.
Today is about a lot of networking amongst colleagues in the industry. There is a lot of healthy rivalry. If another agency wins, everybody's happy. The awards themselves are actually quite evenly spread across the agencies this year, and a lot of the in-house positions took awards today as well. It is a celebration of all the work in the industry, and whilst we probably compete against each other in pitches, today is about, relaxing, letting our hair down and celebrating the achievements of the industry.
Raising Brian Brew from his slumber and reliving the Battle of Clontarf was the challenge of Insight Consultants and Dublin City Council, and they took the honours in the Best Event category. This included a preliminary programme to engage Dubliners during the busy Easter bank holiday weekend, which resulted in visitor numbers even surpassing participant numbers on that fateful day all those years ago.
It's a hard weekend, Easter bank holiday, obviously. There's a lot going on in the city, and a lot of people tend to leave Dublin as well and go back home. So what we really tried to do is bring a slice of the festival into Dublin City in advance of the weekend. So we did a couple of stunts around the city. We got 10 of the Vikings that were going to be taking part in the battle on the day. They came out into the city from 7 a.m. that morning, dressed in their full Viking attire. We had them jumping on Lewis's, we had them going down Grafton Street. We were expecting 40,000 people over the whole weekend. We actually reached that on the first day, on the Saturday, which was phenomenal. No one had seen crowds like it, and out to St Anne's Park, which is one of the parks that Dublin City Council look after as well. So over the weekend we had almost 70,000 people, which completely surpassed anyone's expectations. So it was wonderful. It brought recognition to the Battle of Clontarf Festival, to Brian Brew, and also for the park itself, which was another main KPI of ours.
From War and Peace to Law and Order, An Garda Síochána's engaging the public through social media campaign would have even impressed Brian Brew himself. This campaign has seen them drive public engagement, connecting with as much as 1.6 million members of the public in one 3-hour period alone, and consequently taking the title of Best Public Sector Campaign 2015.
The strategy is quite simple. It meets a business need. We at times need to get out to the general public in real time. For example, if you have a problem on the M50 where we have a crash and the M50 is closed, there's no point in waiting to the next news bulletin to tell the public. If you're stuck in that traffic jam, you want to know why you're in that traffic jam. But the public are great at engaging, and they always can see the funny side of it. But they're very useful to, in terms of business need. There's on occasions, like we have Child Rescue Ireland, for example, where we have a serious business need to locate maybe children and a car or whatever. And like we've had huge success in social media, which that's a real serious situation, and the public have resolved those sort of situations, and social media has played a huge part in that.
When the purse strings are tight, creativity has to flow, and if taking the media by storm was an achievement in itself for Warhorse, to do it on a budget of €20,000 was nigh on a miracle. A miracle which saw Bord Gáis Energy in the winner's enclosure for Best Consumer Relations Campaign under €20,000.
I think the thing about Warhorse, we're very lucky. We work in a very creative industry anyway. We work in theatre, and every so often something comes along that really inspires your own creative flow, and Warhorse was one of those projects that both myself and Serena and all of the team felt so passionate about, that we were determined to get Joey all the places that we could possibly get him. And I think if you look at the attendance that we had for our event, over 70,000 people came to see Warhorse over a course of 3.5 weeks. And I don't think the attendance would have been the same without that kind of ambitious PR campaign that we set out to achieve.
Not just an occasion to benchmark performance, this event is also an opportunity for the assembled to compare notes, share war stories and discuss the wider market conditions.
I think there's a good feeling in the industry at the moment. There's definitely signs of growth. I think since the first time since the economic downturn, we've seen a meaningful increase in recruitment across the industry, and definitely there seems to be a lot of activity happening, and the fact that we had a record number of entries is also testament to that. So I think there's a lot of positive vibes, there's amazing creativity happening, and I think we're just trying to avail of every opportunity that comes our way, which is great.
While the opening up of markets and the withdrawal of quotas heralds more prosperous times for agriculture, farm safety remains one of its more intractable challenges. But it was a real and virtual approach that saw ABP connect with farmers, leverage the next generation to make a lasting change. And it took the spoils in the best corporate communications campaign in support of organisational values.
A campaign highlighting farm safety, and in terms of actually getting the message out to young children and to young adults. The main focus of the campaign was working it through the Young Scientist exhibition, where we took a stand at the exhibition. And that worked as we combined the experiential, so young people had the opportunity to actually go and see exactly the pitfalls that are available, that can actually happen on farms. But the other added piece to the equation was the fact that we actually had farm accident survivors there talking to them. So that was the actual part of the physical aspect of the campaign. And then they had the opportunity to come back, take photographs, use selfies, and to actually download them and come back onto our website later on that evening. So not only were they getting the message on the day, they had time to reflect and actually come back and interact with the message itself.
Sticking with the workplace, PSG's endeavours underline the significance of a happy workforce, and it was Bord Gáis Energy's new status that saw PSG, the newly merged entity of Pembroke and Slattery Communications, put their own recent experience into practice. And their Better Together campaign was a winner for Bord Gáis Energy and a standout for the judges in the Best Internal Communications category.
Well, I suppose for Bord Gáis Energy, the move from being owned by a state agency into commercial ownership was a big cultural change for them. And for Bord Gáis Energy, it was really about what's inside the box. And the cliche of what's outside the box is well worn, but really if you don't get it right inside, you can't get it right outside. So they were very, very, very focused on their employees and ensuring that the employees really understood what the change meant.
Best use of print went to RCSI for their Developing Healthcare Leaders of the Future campaign, and the unique setting of the college, allied to the novelty value of a long-held ritual, saw front-page success in the paper of record.
We obviously always would use traditional media as one aspect, but social media played a huge part of the campaign. In terms of education, we have this 60-year tradition in the college where the final med results are read out from the top of the stairs in the college. And we hired a photographer on the day and we had a photo call, and all the students stand at the bottom of the stairs and the results are read out, and we ended up getting a front page picture in the Irish Times. It was a really engaging photograph of all these students from all over the world putting their valedictorian up on their shoulders. So that was a really nice, very visual image of final med and what it's like to receive your results. And then that would run across all of our social media channels as well.
Championing success is not just about raising performance, it's also about developing talent. And this year's event saw the inaugural Young Communications Person of the Year award, which went to Martin Rosney of Wilson Hartnell, who paid a fitting tribute to the dynamic nature of his profession.
It's a cliche to say that every day is different in PR, but it truly is. We're working on different projects all the time, at different levels in different organisations. So there is no 2 days that are the same. It's a fantastic opportunity to get creative. It's a fantastic opportunity to improve your networking skills, build long-lasting relationships with not only your people you work with, but also your clients. So we're truly blessed to have an industry like this, and to win the Young Communications Professional, I'm delighted. Hopefully this is just another step on a long PR career for myself.
Recent times have proven Ireland's PR industry not just to be a hardy breed, but to be an innovative profession. And with better times in the offing, maybe a wider canvas awaits to ink their creativity. This is Barry Keane for Ireland on Business at the PR Excellence Awards here in Dublin.